Hello guys. This game review is going to be of me versus what I perceive to be one of the best mid laners in NA, which is FlyQuest's Vikla. He's a super strong player. This game I'm playing Veigar into his Cassante, and it will definitely showcase how you can stay calm and still win the game despite falling super far behind early game. As we can see, level 1, I'm just kind of playing pretty slowly. There's not a whole lot for Veigar to do in this lane. Acknowledge that I will be shoved in. The best I can do is just pray to God that my team is not going to grief and win trade the fuck out of me. I get to 2 items, and then I can probably just beat the fuck out of the entire enemy team and be completely fine. But yeah, laning is pretty boring. Just a whole lot of nothing happens, to be honest. I end up getting bounced on. I think what Vikla can do here, if he really wants to, is notice how he auto attacks the wave and starts stacking it up again. I think if he really wanted to, he could have bounced this wave. And I get griefed by my melee minion. Look at that, man. Slow motion replay of that. My melee minion just walks in, tanks the Q so I don't get the cannon. Oh my god, it's a disaster. And here I'm gonna miss every single last another tower as well. Oh my god, it's so bad, it's so bad. Please, bad. Oh, do I get it? Oh my god, no, I just miss everything because my spells are bad. Vikla here can roam, Cassante can roam. Very hard for the Veigar to follow, right? Like, there's no world I'm just gonna follow a Cassante into river. It's just losing for me. So I'm spamming my team. Please, guys, run away. Don't grieve, man. Please, I can't follow him. Please, just accept that I'm going to be a caster minion for the first 20 minutes of the game, and then I'll try to be useful, guys. Now, this was also why I stopped playing Veigar. And Wukong shows up because he's a fan. It's cool, guys. It's cool. And then Pyke is here as well because he's a fan too. And that's probably a way to play this. If I push the wave a little bit faster, I don't have to blow my flash, but yeah. Now my wave is fucked, so I don't know how to get out of this situation. Stand at max range and just throw Qs, I guess. Goes for another roam. I don't know if there's a whole lot I can do about this. My Lee Sin pulls him away. I get to crash this wave. Thank you, Lee Sin. I should just crash the wave. I don't know why I'm even looking up there. This is a mistake on my part. If you guys are ever in this situation, the enemy laner leaves the wave and your wave is bad, just crash it. Just get out of that horrible, horrible spot in lane. And now it's just an ARAM. You know, we are playing an NA Challenger, so it makes sense that we're going to have 5 people mid at 4 minutes. Just adds up, and my Thresh is griefing. He is a support player, so you'd expect that from him. Back into the lane now. Think about how we can try to prevent this Cassante from recalling, or at least making sure that he loses something. Freeze the wave here, walk up and see if we can cancel him. If we can cancel him here, it's really big because he ends up losing a lot of minions for that. He does have teleport, however. We just want the wave to be in this spot for a little bit, and now we can thin it out. And now Cassante has to TP back to lane, and we can assure that he loses a couple of minions at least. And that we won't get ganked while our flash is down. So while our flash is down, we're going to play very defensively. We're going to let the wave come into us, and we're only going to really walk up if we have someone around mid lane. Otherwise, we're just going to let Cassante push us in. Still laning as normal now. Cassante is pushing the wave in and then just roaming whenever possible. But like I said, very, very difficult for Veigar to really follow Cassante's roam. Here I should be paying a lot of attention to what's happening bot lane and then decide whether or not this is a good roam for me. Because I'm not going to be able to have a very big impact here. As opposed to Cassante, right? That champion is so much stronger than me. My cage here is really bad, but I'm just worried about Cassante getting on top of me. Maybe I could have walked in a little bit cleaner. I should have made up my mind on how to play this a lot better, though, and then probably just not even gone for the roam. Recognize that if enemy plays properly, there's nothing for me to do here. Because now I just went bot lane, got nothing, didn't deny Cassante anything, and then like Cassante is not going to lose anything for that roam, right? It's not like he loses a wave now. Well, because enemy AD carry can just come mid lane and collect it. So yeah, it's a pretty big misplay on my part. And here, cleanest movement you've ever seen in NA, that's for sure. Holy guacamole, look at me go. Throw some spells at the Ezreal as well. Oh my god, Ezreal decides to grief. Throw a little bit of a Q. And then all the power. Oh my. Who is this Veigar? He's just the cleanest Veigar I've ever seen. Look at that movement. Cassante still absolutely 1v9ing the entire game. Well played to that guy. Little casual 1v2. Suboptimally in lane. I've been following roams that I shouldn't follow, and I've been making plays that are just bad. I haven't been very decisive in what to do with the wave. I should just accept that there's not a lot that I'm going to do here. I should just play for my scaling, not try to follow roams, accept that Cassante will accelerate the game whenever he can, and just try to get my 2 items as quickly as possible. Because now I'm going to reach my spike later, which means that there's a very solid chance that I become useful so late that Cassante will not like fall off quickly enough, if that makes sense, right? At this point in the game, after my bot lane just got 2v2'd, I feel like the game is pretty over. I am 9xing my bot lane for win trading, and I am regretting picking Veigar into Cassante here. Cassante right now, it's like he's my older brother, and he is 5 years older than me and trained in Taekwondo, Jiu-Jitsu, MMA, boxing, karate, everything at the same time, while I have like muscle dysphoria or whatever you call it. Like this is what the lane feels like at the moment, but in reality, what really matters is I'm taking my education in investment banking and will buy my security team so I can beat my older brother late game. That is the plan here for Veigar. So we're just continuing to farm stacks. Cassante leaves the lane. I can't do anything about that, because if Cassante is sitting in one of these side lane bushes and just fogging, you know, it's pretty bad, right? But I will follow here, try to save my Thresh. My Thresh is doing his best attempt. Classic support, griefing the entire game, walking in and dying to nothing for no reason whatsoever. So he's just a classic 0-6-0 Asian superiority. Well played to you, bro. You're completely smurfing this game, actually. Meanwhile, I am just sitting here, throwing my little stacks at the wave, trying to be relevant at some point during this game. Unfortunately, I'm not very relevant. I'm being pinged by my Jinx now because she's pissed that I'm kind of AFK, which that's how it goes with Veigar in these matchups. Cassante will just... It's like that video, you know, with that yoked Asian dude where the kid is just punching him in the stomach, but nothing is happening because the fucking Asian dude is just like, yeah, I don't care. And here, again, Pyke he's trying to grief the game. He's trying to do his best at griefing the game as well. Unfortunately, I don't quite catch him, but we're still just catching waves mid lane. My Thresh comes mid lane here, denies me the cannon. Actually, he doesn't deny me the cannon minion stack, but he tries to. So fuck you for that, Thresh. I want that AP. I don't want to share the gold with you. I like to go for Liandrys. Mostly because enemy team is quite tanky and I need to get a lot of spell rotations off. Everfrost probably not good enough this game. I'm also solo AP, which means I need to deal a lot of damage. Everfrost would just not give me enough damage against the Wukong and the Cassante. And the Cassante is super strong. And the CDI you get from Liandrys is actually pretty valuable. Allows you to cage a lot in fights and throw a lot of W's down. It's not just the burn, it's just getting that CDR is super nice. So that's also why to go this. And now my older brother shows up and I have to run away. Like, just, yeah, there's not a lot I can do. I'm looking for a TP up here, but my team is actually just kind of Goomba smurfing it, so it's pretty hype. I will just run mid lane here, catch the wave, make sure that Israel doesn't take the tower here. Back to bot lane with me, actually. Never mind, guys. I'm just being a little bit dizzy on the map. It's just hard, because if Cassante is trapping anywhere or running behind me, I'm just dead on the spot, right? So it's very scary for me to be in the side lane. Veigar, it's very hard to pressure side lane with him. The way he plays side lane is he catches waves and then he moves to his team and tries to do something. Or you have a hover. Or you like sit in Fog of War and try to catch the enemy laner, chunk them out, and then you can now get priority. But by default, Veigar is not very strong in the side lane. At least when it comes to pressuring the side lane. He's good at catching waves. But we push out the wave, and now we have our first item. So now, like, we have our first security guy. The problem is, Cassante, he's still an MMA fighter. So he's pretty yoked, right? Cassante tries to dive us. My E is placed pretty poorly. And I just kind of misplay. I don't flash anything. I kind of misplay everything. Very, very poorly executed dive by the enemy team. But I just, you know, it's like they played it really bad. And then I played it even worse. And you know, that kind of just makes you think, how bad did I play that? Because if I just play that like a normal human being and just flash any ability or use my cage properly, I just kill both. Both of them are just dead and the game is over for them. But like my fingers are just like, they're just fucking broken, basically. I'm a reptile, it appears. Like, my hands are just not functioning properly, so the dive just goes completely well for the enemy team. And I just lose out, and I'm just... At this point, I could kill, just misplay is what I'm writing in chat. In my head, I'm like, stupid, man, just play normal. Maybe my hands are shaking a little bit because I'm in game with Vikla, you know? He's a pretty good player, but man, I'm pissed. What I should be doing right here is I should be looking at mid lane and recognizing if I have to run up and help them. Kennen is bleeding an entire wave, bot lane. Now Kennen is bot lane and the entire enemy team is mid lane. I'm thinking, okay, maybe we can fight here because we have numbers advantage. Nara has teleport as well. Maybe we will make this happen. Unfortunately, my team gets caught a little bit too quickly. So the fight just ends up going pretty poorly. Pyke does his best to try to grief the entire fight as well. But now we're like, okay, well, this fight is doomed. Maybe we can kill Cassante. He jumps into my cage. Kennen walks into my cage. Everyone is running into my cage for some reason. Now I have a monkey on me, and I'm just dead. And now I'm back in the side lane, and you can kind of like see how Liandrys is working against Cassante. I throw 8 spells at him, and he loses 20% of his HP. It's pretty high up, and I get to stack my passive a lot. And maybe I can be of some sort of help. I land a nice cage on the Cassante, ult him, he dies, very good. My Jinx gets a reset. I'm wondering if we should space this more aggressively, but I don't know where the enemy Wukong is, nor where the enemy Pyke is, so I have to be a little bit careful. Maybe I should have aimed for the Ezreal there. That Kennen is never going to get hit, but fortunately I get an assist, and my boy Impact in the top lane absolutely smurfs the fight. The fight continues, Pyke jumps in, I land a very, very, very clutch cage on the Ezreal. Unfortunately, he just kind of flashes away, and now there's a big monkey chasing me. But I wonder if we can kill him. Very good cage. He has nowhere to go. And boom, he dies as well. And now we're all of a sudden back in the game, despite the fact that I wanted to FF like 5 minutes ago. My team decided that we have to absolutely fight over nothing in our topside jungle, especially when our Veigar is bot side. Otherwise, like, how can we win the game, right? Like, guys, go in, fight! Like, Veigar isn't here, we have to fight! For no reason, when we could have just waited another 10 seconds and I would be there and we could retake space together. But my entire team gets caught. But Ezreal, again, he's doing his best to grief the entire game, so I find a little clean one-shot on him. Unfortunately, I think this ends up in me dying, but maybe I kill the cannon as well. Oh, my W was poorly angled. Oh, mon ami. But it's good enough. I try to TP to the ward in mid lane. Instead, I TP to this ward. I sell my refillable and try to buy Void Staff. Unfortunately, I just barely don't get it. But the fight is happening down here. I should be moving my camera down way more. This is really boosted, absolutely noob camera placement on my part. We end up just winning the fight completely because my Gnar is just the GOAT. He's just the best player of all time, it would appear. And now we can look to pick up this Drake. I should be trying to play a little bit further up here. Maybe here to try to catch the Ezreal over the wall with a cage. Kennen gets hooked for some reason. I ult him to make sure that my Thresh doesn't die. And now we're chilling. Absolutely chilling. End up catching the Ezreal with my cage. But Lee Sin went for wolves instead, so well played to that guy. In reason is if I reset, there's a very high likelihood that enemy will just do Nash, seeing as they just got on the map. And my team is also fighting, so I have to stop myself from resetting here. My Lee Sin is just the absolute GOAT as well, smurfing. I land a massive cage here. You end up stunning both Wukong and the Cassante, and then I end up ulting the Wukong clone. So, ooh, that was not, it could have been a little bit cleaner, I'm gonna be honest. That was not the best use of my spells. But here we're doing Nash. And how is the enemy team gonna contest? Well, they're gonna have Kennen, so I just need to mark the Kennen. Very bad cage by me, but it looks like we one-shot the Nash anyway. And then Kennen just walks in and dies for no reason. And now I'm thinking in my head, guys, I was absolutely dominated by Vikla in the early game, but we're making a comeback here. I wanted to FF 10 minutes ago, but now we're gonna win this game. We're absolutely gonna win it. Guys, this game is a win. Everyone in chat has been typing, FF, please FF. Guys, don't play this game out. And now we're winning. All of a sudden, we're like tryharding. We're mentally focused back in the game again. After we collected those shutdowns, it wasn't just that we got gold. It was now we're like mentally back in the game. It's like, oh, okay, I got shutdowns. Yeah, well, time for me to actually focus up and try to carry the game now. Run straight down mid lane because this is NA server. You have to run mid lane. If you don't run mid lane, your team is just magically going to grief. You cannot open through side lane, unfortunately, even if it is the correct play, because your AD carry is going to walk up like a normal AD carry does and then just die. For no reason, even though he could just wait one wave, and then you would have side lane pressure, and you could use that side lane pressure to come mid and get control together. But no, your bot lane will grief. That is just how NA works. So you have to just run straight mid lane and babysit your bot lane. Because AD carries on this server are so unbelievably bad when it comes to playing mid game. At this point, we should just try to force any fight that we can. My top laner understands this. He just decides to fist fight. 4 people run top lane. And now how can we play this? Well, it looks like Wukong is jumping over. I tried to land a one-shot on the Wukong, but I'm kind of zoned out for the rest of the fight. We have no damage dealers in the fight, which is pretty unfortunate. But I land a massive cage on the Ezreal over the wall, and he dies now. And now I just have to protect my Jinx. I could space this a little bit more aggressively than I am. But I end up catching the Cassante. I don't think he dies. My Jinx ends up getting hit by a Q. Unfortunate. Now I place a cage so that Pyke has nowhere to go. Line it up against the wall. Beautiful, beautiful cage by me. Now I have Death Cap in base, and I see that a fight is going on the bot side. I pay attention to the fight. I'm like, okay, I have my Death Cap, guys. I'm 6 items, Spike, absolutely Goomba, Exodia, fist fight, everyone kill them. I press R on the cannon. I miss my E, and then I land a nice double stun, and I just kill everyone. And now the game is over, and I'm like, wow. Maybe I should just not FF ever again, because I can't believe we won this game. Maybe I'm just the GOAT of Veigar. Also, I shouldn't have been running Late Execute. I should have been running First Strike this game. But someone, an inside man on the enemy team, or on my team, told me that it was Ken in mid lane and Cassante top lane. So I got griefed by my own team. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I want to try to do more of these game reviews. But yeah, have a good one. See ya. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.